What's happening, fishing friends? Welcome to another episode. I've got a box, so you know what that means. This is some stuff I got a while back. I didn't get a chance to unbox it, I don't know, a few weeks ago when I got it. So we're going through that now. Some stuff that I picked up for fall. I don't know if we're going to be able to use some of it. Some of it I've actually already used, so we'll have a video coming up on that. And then some other stuff I picked up. I thought it looked interesting. I'll give my thoughts on that. And then hopefully you all will comment down below and let me know what you like the most or what you're most interested in. So enough yapping, let's start looking. Let's start out first with a few soft plastics. These I saw, they looked pretty darn interesting. These are the Pro Design from Jordan Lee called the Champ Craw. These are in the HD colors, a couple of these that I got. Jordan Lee, you can see they're already two-time Bassmaster Classic champion. Dude's an absolute hammer. These kind of caught my eye by the look. It's not like a normal soft plastic on these HD colors, which are kind of new, and I'll give you an up-close desktop look at these too. I asked you all for some feedback last time. Do you like the Debo in front of the camera, more of my face? Or did you like the tabletop deal? And I got kind of 50-50. People liked both. So I got some feedback that said, Debo, why don't you incorporate both? Kind of some close-ups on the table and then you here. So that's what we're doing. But this HD color, you can see it's a little bit different from your normal, you know, kind of soft plastic colors. You can see it's almost like a textured, almost looks like some sort of laminate or print on it. It's pretty cool. Bottom side of it's a light blue. Top of it's kind of a blue with some accents in it. Neat color. We have the crawdads around here that are kind of a brownish, but they get that blue. I don't know if it's after they molt. They kind of come out that white color, but some of them just kind of have that blue color to them all the time. So I thought this blue color would do well. That's called HD Blue Craw. I'm a fan of that. I also picked up the HD Green Craw, and you can see on this one, the back of it's like a green with brown on it. The claws there up close, you can see they've got like a reddish brown on the tips of those. Bottom's like a gold with some flake and speckles in it. I just like how it's different. Like I said, it's almost like a print on top of there, I guess is how you would describe it. Not sure how you'd call that color or what you would call the style, but I guess that's why they call it their HD color. It's supposed to look more realistic, high definition, 4K colors, I guess. And then finally, this one's not an HD color, but I always have to get the black and blue. Black and blue craws do extremely well around here. Nothing special about that one. It's black with blue flakes in it on top and bottom. Hence black and blue. Sticking with the soft plastics, I got some more of the deal. Y'all heard me talk about these a while back. I'm a fan of these on Chatterbaits. This happens to be the 4.5-inch version. A little bit bigger version for some of the bigger Chatterbaits out there. The Tackle Warehouse specific version of the Chatterbait Custom. I really like that one, but it's got a shorter shank hook. So the 3.5-inch deal works a lot better on those. I got some white in the 3.5, also the 4.5. I got some green pumpkin. I already threw those in my bag. But you can see here the difference between the 3.5 and the 4.5. Shorter body, the 4.5 obviously is longer, and the tail is quite a bit larger too. So depending on what sort of action you want to get, or what size hook you have on your chatterbait, or whatever you're using on, whether you want that bigger, flappier tail or the smaller version, it's nice that they do come in two different sizes. So all around, pretty cool chatterbait trailer. The back of those fins, since they're so small, they really kind of flow back there. I like it. If you haven't used them, check them out. Just kind of another cool alternative to a trailer instead of your regular paddle tail or Zacho. But again, from Berkley Powerade, oh, and they got that stank on them. That power bait is, whoo, pungent. Berkley's the deal. Next up for soft plastics, I got this. I'm going to do a specific video on this. I actually already went out and used it. It was an interesting day. It was a fun day, so I'm sure you all will enjoy that one. But I've had a number of people ask about the Ned Rig. Now I'm going to be doing a Ned Rig specific video coming up here soon, going over when, where, how I fish it, tackle, line, the whole rundown, because the Ned Rig is one of my favorites, especially in fall. It's a ton of fun. But this kit is cool because it comes with a 1/10-ounce jig head, which is my go-to for bank fishing most of the time. A 1/6-ounce jig head, a little bit heavier, obviously if you've got current or fishing a little deeper. Comes with the regular TRD, finesse TRD, kind of your regular normal Ned Rig soft plastic that most people think about. The TRD ticklers, which almost looks like a TRD, finesse TRD tube mix. It's got kind of some little things on the back that... And then the TRD Craws, which obviously looks just like a little tiny crawfish. I've become a really big fan of those. Pretty lifelike looking. Good, when those new craws hatch during full moon. I forget what it is, July, whenever. There's that big crawfish hatch. Or if you just notice there's a lot of small crawfish around, I've found that's done really well. So you can see how they kind of compare to each other, the finesse TRD versus the TRD tickler versus the TRD crawl. All three are cool. You'll just have to figure out which works best in your area or what you have most confidence in. But again, you'll see a video of me using this very soon. Sticking with that Ned Rig theme, I found some soft plastics that I found really interesting. These are from Rains. They call it the R&D fat. I don't know what that means. This is Mueller's Madness color. Then I also picked up another pack in green pumpkin, 3.25 inch. Kind of a cool little soft plastic. You can see they're very Ned Rig looking, a small slender shape, 3.25 inches. So it's very close to the regular Finesse TRD. The big difference on this one is in the middle, it gets a little bit thinner. So I think, you know, as you're using that on a Ned Rig head or a shaky rig head, it's really going to accentuate the back tail movement, having that thinner in the middle there. You can see how it wants to bend over and move, you know, really easy. And it's got that little tickler deal thing back there, I guess. Can you even see that? Look at that. I don't know, kind of just a different little style. I found them interesting, so I picked up a couple packs. Okay, moving over to a few hard baits. Number one is the 6th Sense Catwalk. I'm a big fan of the 6th Sense stuff. Been using that a lot more this year toward the end of last year. Some really cool baits. Like I've said before, they're kind of middle of the road. They're not the most expensive baits. They're not the cheapest baits, kind of in the middle, but what I like is their quality. So far, everything I've used has held up. Good make to it, and one thing that I really love about 6th Sense, they don't cheap out on the trebles. These come with super sharp short shank EWG treble hooks. Did I just say EWD? EWG short shank treble hooks. Super sharp. Now I know some people are, you know, more of a fan of, you know, the regular round bend, especially when those fish are coming up and slapping, especially at topwater. But if you're walking this around cover and wood and such, those short shank hooks are great for that. This is called the Sensory Shad. Very cool. It's got like the hologram looking shiny shad scales on top. Bottom is pretty transparent with kind of some pearl paint and orange. Then I also got the bone color. I don't remember if that's exactly what they call it, but it's kind of that pearl white. It's kind of got like an iridescent shimmer on it. You can see this one I've already been working quite a bit. Put it to use, got a pretty good fish on it. Y'all will see that coming up pretty soon. But the 6th Sense Catwalk. You can see the belly of it there. It kind of tapers down into a V shape. As you can see there, kind of shapers to that V shape, and that helps it kind of cut through and slide through the water and kind of glides on those sides. I notice I like to work this just a little bit slower as it's going, and that head kind of comes up, I'll pop it. So it kind of dips. Cool walking action to it. It walks really easy, but I like it. The 6th Sense Catwalk. Sticking with that topwater walking bait theme, you can see that I was going to try to work the walking baits more, but fall has been nuts here in Iowa. We've already had a bunch of cold fronts. Water this weekend was 49 degrees already, the beginning of October, so we're pretty chilly. Hopefully it's going to warm up this week, but walking baits, maybe I can catch a few more on these. These are the KVD Sexy Dog Hard Knocks, so they're different than the regular Sexy Dogs, which have, I don't think I have one around here, more of a BB sound. Here's a chrome one I've already actually been using. This Hard Knock has not as much of a high-pitched tinny sound, but it's like one knocker in there, so it's like one solid hard ball. I don't know what they made it out of, but it's a very distinct hard knock sound. It sounds a lot different than something else that's got, you know, the real tinny high-pitched BB sound to it. But I got a chrome. Chrome is always great when it's sunny out. This is called Oyster, so kind of your regular bone whitish color. This happens to have some blue on it too, so I like an opaque white when they're chasing bait fish. It's a little less sun out. Overcast conditions and stuff, that white seems to do well for me. And then when the water's really clear, you notice in their target kind of those translucent bait fish, clear water, I got this one. This is the Sexy Ghost Minnow. So very transparent, very translucent. You can see right through it pretty much. Just some light detail on the top and sides. So I like those. Like I said, I've already been using the chrome version of it, but they're just like the regular Sexy Dog. One of my absolute favorites of all time. They walk really easy. I'm a big fan of them. What are they? I think they're like 4.5 inches, almost an ounce, but great lures. I like them. Sticking with the walking bait theme, I got a couple more of the Berkeleys. This is called the Berkeley Jaywalker 120. So it's a little bit larger size compared to the Sexy Dog here. You can see they're pretty dang similar in size. These happen to be 4 3/4 inches, 2/3 of an ounce. It does have the rattles, and you can hear with these. This is that sound I was talking about. Ready? You can hear there's a whole bunch of BBs in there. Different sound than that regular hard knock. I got this in kind of an opaque bluegill. I don't really throw a bluegill pattern much, so I saw that one, liked it. I got that. And then, of course, chrome. It's hard to go wrong with chrome, especially when you have a little bit of sun. All they're seeing is that flash up there, which just looks like a bait fish flashing and darting. The Jaywalker 120 from Berkeley. Last up, sticking with the topwater, is also from Berkeley, the Cane Walker. Now, y'all saw this in a video not too long ago. I ended up cracking that one. I put some super glue on it, actually some Mend It, and it's been fine. So The Jaywalker 125, so it's a little bit larger topwater walking bait, especially when you're wanting to make more of a commotion or you think there's bigger bass that are going to be targeting. A bigger bait, 5 inches, 5/6 of an ounce, so almost 1 full ounce. It's loud, and you can see it's got a popping mouth, so the mouth is cupped like a little popper. Great when there's a little bit of ripple on the water and you notice they're still schooling, chasing bait fish. This just makes more of a commotion than something like this, a little regular topwater walking bait. You can see the difference in size there. Much bigger, cupped mouth, it's moving more water, and it's a bigger profile. Now that doesn't mean it's only going to be big bass eating. You can see the day I was using it, I caught 3 dinks. Heck, one of them was just barely bigger than this bait. But the thing is, it's an easier target for them to see, like I said, especially when there's a ripple on the water. I got a black one of these just in case it's really low light, really overcast. Black makes just a really good silhouette. This year, frog fishing, I had my best luck on just an all black frog. Makes a good silhouette. I think it mimics bluegill really well. Just an all-around good color. And then of course, chrome, like I said, can't go wrong with the chrome, especially when there's a little bit of sun. And then I also got a transparent color. This one is called Perfect Ghost. So when they've got that real clear water, you can see the bait fish are kind of translucent. I think this does really well in those type of conditions. It's sunny, slick calm, they just get a real good look at it. Transparent works well. So again, the Berkeley Cane Walker. Sticking to topwater, but switching gears. From Greenfish Tackle, I got their Hammerhead buzzbait. Both of these are 3/8 of an ounce. I'm struggling to find a buzzbait that I love. I think I had like an old Booyah or Strike King, I don't remember what it was. It was older than the hills, but it had a great squeak to it. It always ran true, even when I put a soft plastic on it. And it seems like I'm struggling to find one these days that I really like. It seems like they all want to run off kilter. Even when I've checked and made sure that everything's straight on it, they run kind of cattywampus. I've tried some with a trailer, some without. And I just feel like I'm struggling to find one that's a good balance between a good size versus too big, too small. I got these because they were a little bit smaller, a little bit more of a finesse type buzzbait presentation. I've got a couple buzzbaits, but they're real big, like a real big profile. So for a lot of the small lakes and ponds around here, I like this size. 3/8 of an ounce, a little bit more compact. I got the bluegill with a nickel blade, and then I got the chartreuse white. I didn't get a black, they were out of black. Black's one of my favorites, you know, low light in the evenings, but we're gonna try these, see how they do. I've never used this. If you've used these buzzbaits, or if you have a specific buzzbait that you absolutely love, comment down below and let me know. I might pick up a few more here as well. So comment below, let me know. I'm looking for a good buzzbait. Okay, getting into some terminal tackle, but still talking topwater. Ribbit frog hooks. So these double ribbit frog hooks, when you're using these little soft plastic frogs, you can see there that's the Stanley ribbit, but for whatever one you use, these are nice because the nose of the frog screws in there, and you can see you've got 2 hooks, 2 separate prongs. Now these come in a 4/0 or a 5/0, and they've got a little 1/8 ounce weight on them. Great, because most of the soft plastic frogs I use, I don't care what brand they are, when you put just a regular EWG hook on, it's not heavy enough to keep that belly down. So a lot of times they'll run hook up, sometimes they'll run right. It's just a gamble. So I like to use these. You saw me using these with that culprit and credit frog, that frog that never missed leg day. Those legs were thick. They work great for those type of presentations, so I really like those Ribbit double take frog hooks. Okay, up next, almost to the end here, something that I never hear anyone talking about from Gambler Lures. These are little screw head inserts. Now these are great because if you're fishing around a lot of grass, or anytime you notice that your soft plastic keeps running down the tip of your hook or the eye of the hook and getting all bunched up, you take these little deals here, screw that into the nose of your soft plastic, and it keeps it weedless. It's like a bullet weight that actually attaches to your soft plastic. Great if you're around a bunch of grass, you know, you're skipping docks, it keeps pulling that plastic down, or you're pulling it through grass and it keeps pulling it down. This prevents that, so it's a really cool little thing. I'm gonna talk about this more in a video that I've got coming up for some hacks that I've got for Texas rigs. This is definitely one of them, so I was glad to see that Gambler Lures is still making these. I used to use these back in the day. I haven't used them for quite some time, but I'm going to take you a little bit more in depth on these. I happen to have an old pack. I got a bunch of these when they were on sale dirt cheap from Halo Fishing, but you can see same thing there. They're not weighted. It's an extremely lightweight plastic, so this is not a lead or tungsten weight. It's just a hollow, real thin plastic. It's only to get them through that cover. So I'm going to go more into depth on these. More into depth? Johnny Depp? I'm going to go more in depth on these when I go over that Texas rig video soon. Okay, next up, some EWG Ned Rig hooks. You all hear me talk about these. I am a huge fan of the Flatlands tackle. I got some of these in 1/16 ounce, 1/8 ounce, and I got these in the 2/0 hook size. Super cool that Flatlands does. They do 1/0, 2/0, I think even 3/0. I should have grabbed some of those. Maybe I'll do that. Because when I was going through my plastics, I was like, well, I don't have anything that's bigger. Wait a minute. Yes, I do. That's a 2/0 EWG Ned Rig hook on this baby. Look at that. Perfect fit. Now, if you try to use some of the other ones on the market, they have this little tiny 1/0 hook. And that's good if you've got a small bait like that Finesse TRD, but when you've got a little bit larger plastic and you want to use a Ned Rig type presentation or a longer profile bait, these are awesome. And they're a little bit thicker hook too. I've heard some people complain about just the regular Z-Man mushroom heads. The hook is real thin and they've broke them out. I always run mine on spinning gear and I go with real light tackle, so I've not had that issue. But I have used some other companies' heads like these and the hook broke. I was pretty disappointed. I don't use those anymore. I'm sticking with the Flatland stuff. I really like their product and they come in different weights and different hook sizes. So pretty cool. I'm gonna try this on a Ned rig, maybe try this craw on a shaky head or a Texas rig, but I kind of like that look right there. Okay, last in the box are some hooks. I had to re-up on a few flipping hooks. I got a couple packages each of these, but I got some Gamakatsu heavy cover flipping hooks. Now these are gonna be a heavier gauge wire hook. So when you're flipping around deep cover, whether it's deeper in grass, in vegetation, or around wood, if you use a really lightweight wire hook, you know, just a kind of a thin wire, a lot of people don't know they come in different thicknesses, but if you use like a regular or thinner wire hook and get a fish caught, there's a good chance you're gonna bend out that hook or even break it off. I've done both. Now I don't fish competitively, but to me, every fish that I go out and catch matters because I'm often on limited time. So bouncing up to a heavier wire, a heavier gauge hook is what they'll say, like a super line is what they'll call it, or a heavy wire hook can make all the difference. I got a couple different styles. I have not used these Trocar, the Pro V's. They have a little bit shorter distance between the tip of the hook and the shank of the hook. So I kind of like those, a little bit different look, kind of more like a worm hook, but still that flipping hook style with the bait keeper on top that you can see there. Same thing for the Gamakatsus, except these are a much wider distance between the point of the hook and the shank, still with that bait keeper on there. So great when you're around wood and such. If you just use like a regular hook, it can pull that soft plastic down from the eye of the hook. So with the bait keeper on there, it keeps that bait up, so when you're pulling it through wood or grass or whatever, it keeps that on top there. So just re-upped on a few of those. Hopefully I still got time to put them to work. All right, fishing friends, that's gonna do it for me tonight. Please comment below and let me know, out of all this, which are you the most excited to see? Or is there something different you're really looking to see? Maybe, you know, these HD Craws, I'm really excited to use those. Cool colors, I like the size, we'll see what they do. Maybe the Ned Rig kit, great for beginners. It gives you everything you need. The jig heads, the soft plastics, give you a little bit of each to try. For someone new, it's a pretty cool little kit. Comment below and let me know what you're most excited to see. Now tonight's subscribe fishing friend shout out goes to my guy, Western Mass Bass. We talked back and forth. He was thankful for my videos, said he had some issues a while back and fishing and stuff has saved him. And I know it's that way for a lot of people. Honestly, the past few months of this year, fishing has saved my head because my head has wanted to go to some crazy places. You're watching the news and all this stuff and it's just craziness. So getting out, clearing my head with fishing, thinking about fishing, what are they gonna be biting? Just being out in nature has honestly saved me. And I know that's that way for a lot of you out there too. So Western Mass Bass, thank you for watching. I'm humbled that you're watching all my stuff and appreciate me. And thank you everybody else out there. Like I say every video, I'm not just saying it to say it. I would be nowhere without all of you. So thank you all for the support. That's it for me. I gotta get to editing, so thank you all very much for watching, and until next time.